Hello guys, welcome to Prototype Vlogs, and today we are going to review the Tvs Apache RTR200 4V. And I've got a really good looking bike here. It's in matte black paint scheme, and it looks pretty good, especially in daylight. The console has an odometer, it has twin trip meters, a lap timer, a top speed recorder, 0 to 60 recorder, and a clock, and of course the fuel gauge. It just looks so beautiful. I think it has the best console in the 200cc segment. It's also lit in a white backlit, and it's pretty visible even in bright daylight. Coming to the switch gears, TVS has really, I think they're gonna offer a tough competition to Yamaha when it comes to the quality of parts used on their bikes. The switchgear quality is really good. I can see, the owner has added a hazard, so I think this was an add-on. But then just take a look at the switches. The build quality. Even if you check the body parts, you see this here though, there are like no panel gaps. Everything is neatly fit. The fit and finish on this bike is simply, I really have to give 5 stars to TVS for that. Amazing fit and finish. I was never a fan of TVS. Their bikes used to vibrate a lot, but with RTR200, they've really pulled up an amazing job. Now this has a 199.5cc oil-cooled engine. That's 4 volts, and I think it produces about 18.1 Nm of torque at 7,000 RPM and around 20 bhp at 8,500 RPM. The bike is very peppy, but we'll give you more information on that when we take it for a short ride. The exhaust, although I don't think it looks really great, but I can say it sounds really throaty. I'm just gonna turn on the engine here. There you go, guys. Again, listen to the exhaust note. I just love the way the TVS bike sounds. Even the RTR 160 was a good sounding bike, and with Apache 200, they've made it even better. The tires are 130/70 TVS Remoras. They also offer it in Pirelli, but this is the base variant, and it doesn't have ABS or fuel injection. The bike has good stopping power. It has 270mm pedal disc in the front, and at the rear it has around 240mm disc, and the stopping power is quite decent. Couldn't say the best in class, but the bike does feel stable under hard braking, and it has enough stopping power. Like, you can bring the bike from 100 to 0 in about 4.5 to 5 seconds. Now, one thing which I didn't like about this bike is the speedometer protruding in the front, and the owner of this bike has installed an aftermarket windshield. Now this kind of conceals that part, and it looks quite good in my opinion. And I think unlike the older models, the newer ones with the slipper clutch and fuel injection, they come with this windshield as stock. We have the owner of this bike, Akash, here, and he's clocked around 5,000 kilometers on the auto, and he's gonna share his experience. Alright, Akash, the first one is the riding position. Do you have any back pain when you take this bike for long rides?
Not really. The seat is very soft, except I hated the pillion seat.
How about the riding position? I see these are clip-on handlebars.
Yeah.
Do you get any wrist pain or
No, nothing as such.
any pain in the neck? No?
Nothing as such.
So you think it's better than, let's say, it's not as aggressive as R15 version 2, or okay?
Not
and
as relaxed as a Dominar.
okay. All right, so one more question. Now I did take your bike for a spin, and I've ridden other RTR200s before, and I find this bike's refinement to be a tad better than the ones I've ridden before. So have you changed oil, or how do you?
I've changed the oil to Motul 7100.
All right.
10W40.
So 10W40, is it fully synthetic?
Yeah, it's fully synthetic.
Okay. Yeah, guys. I mean, I don't find any vibes all the way up to 8,000, 9,000 RPM. It's definitely a lot smoother than the previous generation Apaches, and I kind of I can say the refinement is right on par with the Japanese bikes. That might be going a bit far, but then it's really good. It's completely vibe free, at least till 8,500 RPM. and TVS has really improved their refinement quotient on this bike. I have one more question for you. How about I found this bike to be really punchy in the city, and why did you choose this bike over, let's say, NS200 or a Duke 200?
So mainly my rides are among city comforts.
Okay.
So in city the gears are like a bit short, not as tall as NS. It's a bit short and it's perfect for it.
Okay.
That is the reason.
So you picked this bike because of the bottom end and the mid end punch, mainly because you commute within the cities. Okay. Speaking about fuel economy, so many users have told me that they're getting about 32 to 35 km fuel on this bike. That's a little low. What about your experience? What's the average fuel economy which you have extracted from this machine?
I get around 35, 36 in city.
Okay.
Then max around 43 in the highway.
On the highway. So when you're on the highways, you said you get around 43.
Yeah.
So is that while you ride the bike at a constant RPM, let's say 6,000, 7,000, or like what is the best cruising speed on this bike?
100 to 110.
So you're telling me that on the highways you can sit at 100, 110 stress free all day long, and that gives you about 40 kmpl mileage. Okay, that's actually pretty good. And in the cities, you said you get in bumper to bumper traffic, you get around 35, 36. Okay, fair enough. All right.